I am here with the valedictorian of the Georgetown Secondary School. Congratulations to you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very good, very good.
How does it feel to be the valedictorian of the class of 2026?
Well, it feels well deserving because I worked very hard for that achievement. So I'm very grateful. Very grateful.
What was your journey like?
Well, since I transferred to the school in Farm Tree, my journey was a bit rough because I didn't have any friends or knew any teachers or stuff like that. So I had to work hard and maintain my achievement.
So what are you hoping to do after the graduation to go forward in your dreams?
Well, just wait until results get released, see what I did, and apply for college.
Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank God.
God.
My parents.
All right. Any of your friends?
And yeah, Nathaniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm really happy for you. I also have Prince right here with me. Congratulations. You did excellent, and I wish you guys all the best for the future. Okay?
I want to say a pleasant good morning to everyone. Afternoon. I acknowledge with respect the Ministry of Education representative, Mrs. Elizabeth Austin, our guest speaker, Mr. Michael Thomas, the principal, Mr. Roneil, the deputy principal, Miss Lornette Rogers, our past principals and former leaders of this institution, the representative of the clergy, Prophet Smith, our invited guests, our dedicated teachers and members of staff, our supportive parents and guardians, and finally, our graduates, the stars of today's ceremony. Picture it, Negroes Primary School, Valedictorian, Roneil Quow. Graduation cancelled, flight missed. Not this time. Not today. Today, we are clear for takeoff. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Flight GSS 2026. We are delighted to announce that after years of preparation, countless assignments, unexpected turbulence, and a few maintenance issues, that we have finally received clearance for takeoff. Today, we gather under the theme, Let Your Dreams Take Flight. And how apt it is, for years, we have been passengers on this journey, guided by teachers who served as our air traffic controllers, helping us navigate storms, avoid collisions with poor decisions, and occasionally redirect us when we were heading completely off course. Our parents and guardians have been our ground crew, working tirelessly behind the scenes to keep us fueled, repaired, and ready for the next leg of the journey. And my fellow graduates, well, we have been the passengers who somehow managed to turn every delay into an adventure, and every challenge into a story worth telling. This morning, we stand together on a jet bridge between who we were and who we will become. The engines of ambition are roaring. The destination is unknown. The skies ahead are filled with endless possibilities. The question is no longer whether we can fly. The question is, how high are we willing to soar? Like many flights, my journey to this moment did not begin exactly as planned. Unlike many of my fellow graduates, I did not board this flight from the very beginning. I arrived at Georgetown Secondary School in Form G, carrying more than just a school bag. I arrived carrying the weight of academic setbacks, missed expectations, and the uncomfortable feeling that perhaps I had already fallen behind. And I know that for some people, that fact may create a bit of turbulence. After all, when people hear the word valedictorian, they often imagine a student whose journey has been smooth, direct, and free from detours. Mine was not. My route included delays, reroutes, and a few unscheduled landings. But if aviation teaches us anything, it is that the most important of the flight is not where it starts, it is where it ends. The truth is, those setbacks placed me on a journey I did not know I needed. Georgetown Secondary School became more than just a new school. It became a new environment filled with new teachers, new friendships, and new opportunities to grow. It challenged me to become a better student, but more importantly, a better person. Ironically, some of my greatest struggles came after I learned that I had been selected as valedictorian. There were moments when doubt quietly whispered that someone else deserved this honor more than I did. There were moments of angst when the image I had of myself struggled to align with the person standing before you today. Yet, as I stand here now, I realize something important. This achievement does not belong to me alone. It belongs to every classmate to share notes before a test, every friend who offered encouragement during difficult days, every person who made me laugh when stress threatened to take over, and every member of this graduating class to help create the environment that allowed me to succeed. So, while my name may appear beside the title of Valedictorian, this accomplishment carries the fingerprints of an entire graduating class. You helped shape this journey. This morning, I stand here not as someone who flew higher than everyone else, but as someone who was fortunate enough to fly alongside a special group of people. And for that, I will always be grateful. Of course, no flight is memorable because of the destination alone. Sometimes it is the journey, the passengers, and the unexpected adventures along the way that make it unforgettable. When I think about our time together, I do not just remember classrooms and exams. I remember the experiences that took us beyond the school gates, and in many ways helped us discover parts of ourselves we did not even know existed. I remember our trip to Beckway, our visit to Waliabu Heritage Park, our walk to Congo Valley, and our 5th form retreat at Hotel Alexandrina. At the time, some of us thought these were simply opportunities to escape classes for a day. Others attended with enthusiasm. And then there were those who treated every trip announcement like a delayed flight notification, complaining from departure to arrival. Yet somehow, almost every time, the same people who swore they did not want it to go ended up having the time of their lives. Those experiences were about far more than recreation. They taught us resilience, teamwork, and how to appreciate the people around us. They helped us grow in ways we could have never imagined. And to those who chose not to attend some of these activities, respectfully, you missed out. Not just on the scenery, not just on the photos, but on opportunities for personal growth, shared memories, and experiences that help shape who we are today. Then there was science fair. Now, depending on who you ask, the word contentious may be an understatement. Yet what began as a challenge unexpectedly ignited a spark within me. A spark that has since grown and continues to burn brightly. Speaking of people who shaped this journey, I have to mention a few fellow passengers on this flight. First, Tristan, who has since migrated. In a group of nearly 10 friends, we somehow became a dynamic duo. He has been my first officer throughout this journey and one of the constants that helped make the ride enjoyable. Then there is Enrique, whose greatest gift is the ability to keep everyone laughing, even when he added words to the English language. Granted, there were occasions when what he said probably should not have left the cockpit, let alone reach the cabin speakers. But life would certainly have been much less entertaining without him. And of course, Prince, my study partner. We spent countless evenings in the lab, which seemed like our second home. We tackled SPAs, practiced past papers, and endured long study sessions under the guidance of Mr. Oliver. To my classmates in 5SB, thank you for making these years memorable. I know I was evil sometimes, but trust me, there was never any love lost. Every joke, every debate, every challenge, and every moment of camaraderie helped create memories that will remain etched in my mind long after today. Finally, I must address a matter that is not up for debate. Some people argue about which class is the best. Some argue about sports. But one thing is absolutely undisputed. We had the best form teachers. No appeals, no objections, no recounts. To our form teachers, thank you for your patience, guidance, encouragement, and unwavering spirit. You helped keep this flight on course when we were determined to test every possible alternate routes. The impact you had on our life extends far beyond the classroom, and for that, we are deeply grateful. As our flight begins its final descent, there are a few people without whom this journey would never have left the ground. First and foremost, I must thank God. Throughout every season of this journey, clear skies, unexpected turbulence, and moments when I questioned whether I was even headed in the right direction, God remained my tower of strength and refuge. When I lacked confidence, He provided courage. When I lacked direction, He provided guidance. When I stumbled, He provided grace. The words of Philippians 4:13 have been a constant reminder throughout this journey. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Any success I celebrate today is for us a testament to His faithfulness. To my family, I thank you for being my Roneil, my anchor, and my home. To my parents, thank you for understanding the value of education. Even after my setbacks, you chose to invest in me and give me another opportunity to succeed. To my older sibling, Omar, thank you for being more than a brother. Thank you for being a confidant and friend, and someone whose advice I could always trust. Whether I wanted to hear it or not is another matter entirely. I must also express my sincere gratitude to the staff of Georgetown Secondary School. First, to our principal and deputy principal. If our school has been an aircraft, then you have served as our captain and first officer. Yours is not an easy job. Every day, you are responsible for navigating challenges, managing expectations, responding to emergencies, and somehow keeping hundreds of students pointed in the right direction. It is a role that is often underappreciated and frequently criticized, yet you continue to serve with dedication and commitment. On behalf of the graduating class, we thank you. I would be remiss if I ended this speech without acknowledging some members of our cabin crew, the teachers who made this journey meaningful. Miss James, Miss Jansu, Miss Young, Mr. Exume, Mrs. Rashida Oliver, Mrs. Baptiste Oliver, and Mr. Williams. Thank you for your patience, encouragement, support, and belief in us. Each of you contributed to our growth in ways that extend far beyond the subject you taught, whether through advice, motivation, a listening ear, or simply refusing to give up on us when we occasionally gave you every reason to. You helped shape the people we are becoming. However, there are two teachers whom I must single out this morning. Ms. Jennings and Mr. Oliver, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jennings was my school mother. Now, being my school mom was not always an easy assignment. She was firm, she was direct, sometimes too direct. Sometimes she could spot a poor decision before I had even fully committed to making it. But through it all, she always had our best interests at heart. Accounts and POB classes simply would not have been the same without her. She pushed us to improve, challenged us to do better, and reminded us that excellence was never accidental. In retrospect, I realized that many of the lessons she taught extended far beyond debits, credits, and business principles. Thank you for caring enough to push us toward our potential, even when we resisted. And finally, Mr. Roneil Oliver, who I got to know after introduced by Uma. Before I got to know him, I must confess that he looked intimidated. He seemed harsh, serious, and unapproachable, if I'm being honest. But as many of us eventually discovered, once you got to know him, your entire perspective changed. Behind the stern appearance was a teacher who cared deeply about his students and invested heavily in their success. Mr. Oliver has been more than a teacher. He has been a mentor. Right. I remember a period when I lost focus, I became distracted, my performance declined, and I came dangerously close to repeating Form 4. At the time when I needed direction most, Mr. Oliver returned to the school and helped put me back on course. He helped me find my footing when I was drifting off the runway. One of the things I respect most about him is his candor. He never told us what we wanted to hear. He told us what we needed to hear, especially when we had made some mistakes. He was also our walking dictionary and Bible commentary rolled into one. Somehow, every conversation expanded our lexicon, introducing us to a new word we had never even heard before, or a scripture passage that perfectly matched the situation. Mr. Oliver, thank you for your guidance, your wisdom, your patience, your correction, your belief in us, and most importantly, your food. Thank you for holding us accountable when we needed accountability and encouraging us when we needed encouragement. To all our teachers and staff, thank you for helping us navigate the journey. We may be prepared for takeoff today, but many of the instruments guiding our future were calibrated by you. As I bring my remarks to a close, I am reminded that today is not really about awards, certificates, rankings, or titles. It is about a journey marked by challenges, growth, friendships, lessons, setbacks, victories, and countless memories that have helped shape us into the people we are today. Together, we have navigated rough weather, unexpected turbulence, and moments when the destination seemed far away than we imagined. Yet here we are, graduates, congratulations. Against the odds, despite obstacles, despite the obstacles, and in some cases, despite ourselves. We have made it this far. Take a moment to appreciate that achievement. But as exciting as today is, we all know another important moment is fast approaching. Soon, examination results will be released. For some of us, that day will feel like smooth flying conditions. There will be celebrations, excitement, and a sense of accomplishment. For others, the outcome may not be what was hoped for. There may be disappointment, frustration, uncertainty. If that happens, I want you to remember something. A delay is not a cancellation. A detour is not the end of a journey. And a setback is not a verdict on your future. I stand before you as living proof that one difficult chapter does not determine the rest of your story. Sometimes the route you did not choose becomes the route that takes you exactly where you need to be. As we leave this ceremony and prepare for whatever lies beyond the horizon, may we have the courage to dream boldly, the resilience to overcome adversity, and the wisdom to keep moving forward even when the skies ahead seem uncertain. The future is awaiting. The runway is before us. Our dreams are calling. Graduates, fasten your seatbelts, open your window shades. We are clear for takeoff. I thank you.
Roneil,